as of November, you will not be able to get into a fucking airport in Canada if you're not double vaccinated. You will not be able to get on a train, a plane, or a bus if you're not double vaccinated. So that means get a good fucking pair of shoes and start walking if you're an anti-vaxxer.
I told you a while ago, Frank, if you're not vaccinated, you won't be living. There's going to be nothing for you.
Yeah, but you see, here's the problem, Eric. The politicians were spineless fucks because they could have alleviated a lot of death and bullshit like they did in the 60s. When my father immigrated to Canada, if he didn't have his vaccinations, he wasn't coming through.
Yeah.
Well, that's what they've done now, Frank.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going nowhere.
Billy.
They're double vax. I mean, they can't stop them from emigrating, but they sure as hell can stop them from going anywhere.
Billy, they should have, the politicians, when they found out that the pandemic was the pandemic, they should have grown a set of testicles instead of fucking around. You can go here, but you can't go there. You know, the bullshit, you know? Like even now, you can go in a fucking mall and go to the food court, but when you go to a fucking restaurant, you have to be double vaxxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not even, you can't even go into a Starbucks now. You can't go anywhere without being double vaxxed right now. We're getting there. We're getting there, Frank, and, you know, like the people that are...
I personally think it's a little too late. They should have done this, and I think that Doug Ford, in my modest personal opinion,
not home yet,
is lifting all the things too early. He should do it after Christmas.
Right.
Because I'll tell you why after Christmas.
Just get together.
Make everything be implemented, because then we're going to have another fucking spike, and we're going to go back, and there's still a lot of people that are not vaccinated. And they are spreading the fucking virus.
Right.
It's a fact. Anyways, I mean, we're better off now than we were last year, but we're headed into flu season and COVID season and Delta season, and there's another variant that's even more psychotic than the Delta. So I really don't understand why, you know, we're habitual animals, and everything's like, just like when the fucking seatbelt law came in, everybody said, oh, fuck off. You know how many seatbelt tickets they kept giving, and then they kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller because people, you know, got used to wearing a seatbelt.
It's true. It's true. They don't have a choice, right?
Well, you keep getting a ticket, and then the government just kept fucking making it more extensive, meaning first there was a ticket, then it was demerit points, which made your insurance go up. It just got to the point where you couldn't buck the system. And I got to tell you, I'm being honest with you. I really had a tough time with the seatbelt when the law came in. It really bothered me.
You know what, Frank? I never did, and I don't know why. I guess I heard of enough people getting thrown out of the car, and they could pick them up with a soup ladle. I just felt that it was, you know, it's live or die, although it's not to that extreme. I mean, you could drive your car and drive it properly, you probably won't need it. But I felt that way about the seatbelt, that it was a matter of, if I didn't have control, somebody hit me, T-boned me, and rolled me, and I end up out of the car, I'm dead.
Yeah, but the seatbelts have come a long way, because when my first car, I was a kid, I saved up about a Buick Skyhawk in 1979, and the seatbelt was very uncomfortable when the law was passed, right, that you had to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah.
Now they're quite, but now to me, I can't drive without a seatbelt.
No, I agree.
It's just habitual. I have to have the seatbelt.
First thing you do when you get in the car.
Yeah, I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't drive without a seatbelt. But the point I'm fucking trying to make is, I was talking to Phil Esposito the other day. He called me for an unrelated matter, and we're talking about the vaccines, and we're talking about the Leafs, and I said, you know, if you have a nice pair of fucking shoes, but when you put them on, they hurt, you don't give a fuck how good they look.
Hey.
So, like, you know, and it's the same thing. You need the vaccine. What is it? What did I read yesterday? 4.7 billion fucking people in the world have been vaccinated. 4.7. That's over half the world's population, which, you know, counting right now with what's countable, is 8 billion people.
Yeah. And guess what?
And how many fatalities? Because if you read these fucking conspiracy theorists and these fucking QAnon and all this bullshit, that thousands of people have died and people, their lungs have failed, and like it's. I went to get a physical the other day. I said to my doctor, who's, you know, the best doctor I've ever had in my life, and he's very honest. I said, so the vaccine is, have you, in any of your clientele? And he goes, well, all my clients are, all my patients are vaccinated. I go, has anybody grown an extra fucking dick or an extra ball, or did they lose an eye, or
well, I hope not.
Dead from the fucking vaccine? He goes, no.
No.
But, you know, you read this. So I was talking to this person the other day. I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. And I'm saying, we would have, you know, everybody's vaccinated that works with me, and we would appreciate it if you were vaccinated. Oh, no, it's fucked up, and they changed the genetic DNA of your body. I go, really? Where'd you read that? University of Toronto, University of York University, Kingston, Queens, McGill, Columbia University, Berkeley. Where'd you read that? On the internet. So you discounted all these fucking universities.
Right.
The medical journal. To believe some fucking demented fuck who has no fucking clue? That's what we're up against, guys.
Yeah.
And what you're up against, Frank, is when you say there's a possible another variant, that lights another fire, and we got to jack it up to 110%. We got to.
I agree with you 100%, and that's why I think that Ford and I think that the politicians, they should just get over Christmas, because we're going into COVID season, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we should just let alone the restrictions that are in place right now until we get over January.
Yeah.
But, you know, he wants to fucking jump on the economy at a cost of human life, or exacerbating the emergency and the, you know, intensive care units.
Yeah.
So they can sell some fucking bullshit for Christmas.
Yeah. No, and the thing I would have, my concern there is if Ford let it go for a month, he'd never slow it down for 3.
Right.
That's just been his history. He's just not the right man for the job. And there's not much more I can say about that. I don't dislike him. I have no reason to.
I actually like Doug Ford personally, but I think that the politicians should forget about being political when it's scientific, and they should just let it go. I don't understand these fucking people. I don't. Maybe I'm the fucking dumb one here. I don't understand if right now there's a huge population that is unvaccinated, and to get to a level where you're really going to stop this herd immunity, you have to get at 85%. You have to get at 85%.
Yeah, yeah.
And people, you know what? Another thing that bothers me, guys, they don't see that COVID-19, the spread, has slowed down because of the vaccinations, or else it'd still be catastrophic.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a fact.
Yeah, but they still act as if it's catastrophic. I mean, there's no getting out of it. I mean, it just perpetuates itself. No matter what strain, we're going to go
catastrophic. It you know, there's people that do not have underlying conditions, where they're diabetic, or they're obese, or they have high blood pressure, or they're seriously diabetic, and there's people that don't have any of those. They get COVID and die. How do you explain that?